What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the numbers. These are my DraftKings MMA picks for UFC 275. We have Yuri Prochazka going against Glover Teixeira.
I need all the wins, yeah. Harder than all that is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And we are back breaking down another DraftKings slate. This week we have a 12-fight slate. Looking forward to getting right back into it after a really good week last week. And yeah, looking forward to this card. I think it should be fun. Can't wait to break it down. Before we get started, guys, if you guys can please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are not already. And if you do want some extra content, be sure to sign up on dfsbythenumbers.com. It's a Tuesday. I'm getting this video out early and have also got all my other content done early. The projections are already done. The ownership's already done. I've already made my lineups already on a Tuesday, which could be a good thing or a bad thing if we lose the fight, but hoping all 12 fights stay on. So yeah, everything's done. The article's out. I'm just trying to get ahead this week because I am going to Austin, Texas next week to watch the card live. So I want to kind of enjoy myself a little bit. So I'm getting ahead into next week already. So content is already out. This video is getting out early, and I'm definitely looking forward for this week and looking forward to making some money as well. So I say, as always, guys, we start with the fight doesn't go to decision lines. And we have up top the Prochazka Teixeira fight doesn't go to decision, sitting at minus 410. Looks like it's getting hit as we speak. I see minus 450. I even see minus 600 on a book. And yeah, this fight has a really good chance of finishing inside the distance. Both these guys are very dangerous. Both these guys have been finished. Just stylistically how this fight matches up, there's a good chance this fight does finish within the first couple rounds. So yeah, I'm personally more on the Jerry side myself. He is 8,100. I think he does knock out Glover Teixeira, but don't count out Glover Teixeira by any means, especially at 7,300. He has a legit path to victory. I'm not completely sold on the takedown defense of Jerry, and if Glover can get on top, he very well could finish the fight. So I'm playing both sides here. This is a fight where you're going to want to have, nearly 100% of this fight. I know people want to try to get different sometimes and fade the main event. I thought last week that could have been good, but this is a fight where I would not really go out of my way and try to fade the main event, especially on a 12-fight slate. If it was 14 or 15 fights, then maybe, but at these price tags, it's really hard to see the winner not find his way onto the optimal lineup. So I'm going to have both sides here. I'm more so on the Jerry side myself, but Glover Teixeira is a phenomenal dog at 7,300. Next, we have Liang Na going against Silvana Gomez-Juarez, minus 260. Fight doesn't go to decision, and it's not often at all, ever really, you see a strawweight fight with a fight doesn't go to decision line at minus 260. The reason you're seeing that is because of one Liang Na. She is a fighter that has like 27 combined amateur and pro fights. Only one of those fights have went the distance. I think only one of them's been to the third round. So she's somebody that gets in there and she gets out whether she's winning or whether she's losing, which makes for this fight to be one to 100% target, especially these price tags. Liang Na, 7,600. I really like her as a dog this week. I think she can go out there and finish Gomez-Juarez in the very first round, but if not, she's going to slow down. She's going to gas out. She does in every single fight that she's not finished early, and then Gomez-Juarez can very well finish her herself. So I think somebody gets finished here. I think somebody gets finished in the first two rounds, and I think it's another very, very good fight to target and another fight that does finish inside the distance. Next, we have another fight that I think is a good one to target. We have Brendan Allen going against Jacob Malkoun. Allen, 9,000. Jacob Malkoun is 7,200. Both guys have a path to victory to score very well here. Brendan Allen, he's 9K. He's very dangerous. He's a finisher. If he does win this fight, it is probably going to be by knockout or submission. I think both of those are on the table. Jacob Malkoun, if he wins at 7,200, that means he went out there, he took down Brendan Allen, and he did it consistently for 15 minutes, racking up takedowns and racking up control time. So yeah, I think both guys, if these guys win, they're going to score very well. So another fight I really want to target. I personally am very, very high on Brendan Allen this week. I think it's a massive step up in competition for Jacob Malkoun here. I think it's a really bad matchup for Jacob Malkoun. But again, if Jacob Malkoun goes out here and pulls it off as a dog 3 times in a row, at 7,200, he's going to put up a massive score. So I don't want to completely rule out Jacob Malkoun. I don't want to completely ignore him because I am on Brendan Allen pretty heavy. But I do think Allen gets it done, either knocks out or submits Jacob Malkoun this fight. So I'm going to be heavily owned on Allen, but Jacob Malkoun as a pump play is not the worst look in the world, I'd say. And then we have another fight. Yeah, surprisingly, I think all 4 of these fights finish inside the distance. We have Garcia going against Mahashade, minus 205. Fight doesn't go decision. That line has been hit as well. Looks like money's coming in on that fight doesn't go, and for a very good reason. I think it's going to be a war. Both these guys are just going to stand and bang more than likely. I think it'd be smart for Steve Garcia to get this fight down to the mat. I think he'd have a huge advantage on top. He has great ground and pound. On the feet, I have some concerns about the chin of Garcia getting dropped 3 times in his last fight against Charlie Ontiveros. And, Mahashadi looks like he does hit pretty hard. So, this is a fight, again, I target both sides here. I'm more so on the Garcia side myself. I think Garcia should absolutely run through this guy and probably even do it in the first round. It's just, if Garcia goes out there and stands and bangs with Mahashadi, kind of like I expect him to, Mahashadi is going to have a legit path to victory to knock him out early. So another fight I like to target here. So four of these fights right here, I think are all phenomenal fights to target, and I'm going to be very heavily exposed to really all 4 of them. All right, we'll go to a core plays here. We have Valentina Shevchenko, 9,600. It's a very expensive price tag. It really is, but we got to keep in mind, this is not a 14-fight slate. This is not a 15-fight slate. This is a 12-fight slate, and there are actually a lot of underdogs I like this week. I think there are a lot of live dogs, and you can make a case for pretty much every single dog on the slate. So it's easy to go up there and get Valentina Shevchenko for cash. For me, she's a lock in cash. I would not fade Valentina Shevchenko in cash. Tournaments, maybe you can get away from the price tag, but even in tournaments, I like Valentina this week. She's averaging over 100 DraftKings points easy in her wins, 96 DraftKings points overall, 5 rounds to work with. Tyler Santos, she's taking a massive step in the competition, going from Joanne Wood, Roxanne Modafferi, Molly McCann, Jillian Robertson to Valentina Shevchenko. I think Valentina kind of runs through Santos here, and I think she finishes Santos at some point in this fight. Takedown upside, finish upside. I really like Valentina at 9,600. I'm going to have a decent amount of her, although the price tag, it is a lot, but again, there's not a ton of great plays up in this 9K range. Do you want to go out there and play, Sungwoo Choi at 9,100? No, not really. Do you want to play Manel Kopp? I guess. I like Brendan Allen, but outside of that, there's nothing up there in that 9K range. It really sticks out. Valentina, I think she's safe. She has upside. I do like me some Valentina this week. Steve Garcia, 8,400. Yeah, I think this is a fight that he absolutely should win. I think he's the better fighter everywhere. I'm not completely sold on Mahashadi being a UFC caliber fighter. I think Steve Garcia has an easy path to victory in terms of getting the takedowns, getting on top, and finishing Mahashadi, and probably early on as well. If Steve Garcia goes out there and stands and bangs with him, that's a problem. It could be, it very well could be. I think he does have the tools to knock out Mahashadi on the feet. I like what I see from Garcia on the feet. Good elbows, good knees, good pressure. And he's dangerous as well, but just easy path to victory. Take this guy down and finish him. So I like Garcia, 8,400, but yeah, this is like I said last time, this is a fight, or last slide, this is a fight that you're going to want to target. I think somebody's getting finished here. Brendan Allen, 9,000. Yeah, I really like this spot for Brendan Allen here. I think it's a really tough matchup for Jacob Malkoun, because on the feet, it's going to be Brendan Allen. He's made a ton of improvements on the feet. Training at Sanford MMA, his striking's very good. He has some power, he's dangerous. And then on the mat, a lot of people forget, because we have not seen it in a while, Brendan Allen's, bread and butter is his ground game. He's a legit black belt in BJJ. He's submitted black belts before. He submitted Kevin Holland. He out-grappled Kyle Dawkins. He reversed him 4 times. And I think he's, just much better anywhere the fight goes. I think he's very dangerous anywhere the fight goes. On top of that, Brendan Allen, a very good finisher. Brendan Allen, an 83% finish rate. Malkoun finishing his only loss. I think Brendan Allen finishes Jacob Malkoun in this fight. And I think it could be in any round, but I think it could be by knockout. I think it could be by submission, TKO. I think Brendan Allen does finish Jacob Malkoun this weekend, and I like him at 9K there. Next, we have Liang Na, 7,600, going with an underdog here for a core play, but we talked about it a little bit. This is not your typical strawweight fight. This is a minus 260 fight, doesn't go to decision strawweight fight. Liang Na is going to go out there. She's going to get takedowns. Juarez has a 16% takedown defense thus far in 2 fights. A lot of that from the Loopy fight, but she has been submitted in both of her UFC fights, and I think this is a good chance for Liang Na to go out there and give her 3 submission losses in a row. Of course, you got to worry about the cardio. The cardio is a massive concern, but I'm just aiming for that first round submission upside, the first round TKO upside for Liang Na. If she wins, it's going to be in the first round, because she literally only has about 5 rounds of gas. So I like Liang Na, targeting that upside there, but Juarez, if she wins, it's probably inside the distance as well. Somebody's getting finished here. All right, GPP plays here. Jerry Prakash, 8,900. Yeah, this is a main event you're going to want to have exposure to. Jerry is very live for a knockout, and if he does knock him out, I actually think it's going to be in the very first round here. If he gets taken down, I just don't see him surviving, honestly. I think this is a very close fight. The odds and these salaries are kind of crazy to me, but I just personally see Jerry is going to knock him out. But yeah, you absolutely got to have some Glover as well. But you have to Prochazka, It's minus 600 on some books. Fight doesn't go to decision. Somebody's getting finished here. I would not fade this main event. Andre Fialho, 8,500. I'm actually picking him to lose, but Fialho, he has a ton of power. If he does win, it's probably in the first round. It's probably by knockout. I think that Jake Matthews should survive that first round, take over as the fight goes on, and win a decision. But I don't want to completely rule out the power of Andre Fialho. Another guy that I like up in this 8K range for a GPP play would be Dana Bakkerel. I think Dana is very live for a first-round knockout as well. He's sitting at 8,300. I think Fialho and Dana have a lot in common. I think they both have a ton of power, and if they both win, they're both going to win by knockout. So Fialho, Dana, I think those are all solid plays. Jack Della Maddalena is 8,200. I think is a solid play. I guess I'm just worried about, one, the ownership. I do think he's going to have some ownership here at 8,200. And then 2, what happens if Ameev is able to take him down, is able to control him, kind of makes it a boring, a typical Ameev fight. I'm kind of worried about that as well. So I'm not going to go crazy on it, but Jack Della Maddalena, he's a finisher. He's finished all but one of his wins. He has a 91% finish rate. I think he could finish Ramazan Ameev. On the feet, it's going to be Jack Della Maddalena all day. He hits very, very hard. I think he could put Ameev out, but I am worried that Ameev could make this like a boring, grinding type of fight. So that's my one concern, but I do like me some Jack Della Maddalena for that finish upside. And then Silvana Gomez-Juarez, 8,600. She has a lot of power, 75% finish rate in her own right. And yeah, just the gas tank of Liang Na. If Liang Na does not finish her in the first round, she's going to topple over. She just gets so tired. In her debut, Liang Na could not get the first round finish against Carnelossi, and her corner actually had to come and pick her up after the first round because she was so tired, and then she just kind of had nothing left in that second. I see the same thing here if Liang Na does not get that first round sub. So just a must-own fight in my opinion. Live dogs, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, 7,400. Cash especially, like, she has a great floor. I like Joanna here. I think she can win the fight. I'm personally picking Zhang Weili, but it's a close fight. It's a very close fight. These price tags do not really make sense. The first fight looked about as 50-50 as you can get. What has really changed outside of Zhang Weili, being more active, Zhang Weili going to fight ready for a little bit. Joanna, it does have a 2-year layoff, and that concerns me, but, overall, this is a very close fight. I think it can go either way. At 7,400, I do like me some Joanna there, and I do think she has a good chance of winning, honestly. Glover Teixeira, 7,300. I think one takedown is all it takes. I think you have to ask a question like, what happens first? Does Jerry knock him out, or does Teixeira get on top? Teixeira does get on top. I think he can very well finish Jerry. Teixeira's ground game's no joke. His ground and pound's no joke. BJJ black belt. And I think he can very well finish Jerry, and I think he'd be early as well. So let me some Glover at this price tag, but just, again, a fight you want to target both sides there. Somebody's getting finished. Ramona Pasquale, 7,500. First fight of the night here. Jocelyn Edwards, 47% takedown defense. Jocelyn Edwards has been controlled for over 20 minutes thus far in her UFC career. Pasquale, she's going to be the thicker fighter. She's going to go for takedowns. If she can get on top of Jocelyn Edwards, she racks up control time. I don't hate the dog shot there on Ramona Pasquale at 7,500. And then Kung Ho Kong, 7,900, going against Dana Bakkerel. He's going to need to get takedowns here. If not, there's a good chance he could get knocked out. He has not been knocked out since 2008, though, coming via soccer kicks. But yeah, he's a good grappler, good takedowns, takedown upside here. If he does win, it's either decision, submission, and I think he puts up a solid score. Other dogs I was looking at, Mahashade a little bit, 7,800. I think he's live potentially for a knockout if Garcia does come in here and stand and bang with the guy. And then there was one more that kind of stuck out. Jake Matthews, I guess, is okay. I think he'll be somewhat popular, though. I'm kind of worried about the upside of Matthews, but I think Matthews can win the fight at 7,700. But yeah, lots of live dogs this week. It's crazy. And then our pump plays, Rogerio Bontorin, 7,000. If he wins, takedowns, control time. He went out there and got 8 takedowns his last fight against Brandon Royval. He lost the fight, but still 8 takedowns nonetheless. Very strong guy. Going against Manel Kopp there. I don't hate me some Bontorin at that price tag. And then I don't hate some Jacob Malkoun sprinkles there. If Jacob Malkoun wins, expect a 15-minute, very boring fight, first of all, but a fight where he's going to get takedowns, control time, and all that's really going to add up at 7,200. So Bontorin, Jacob Malkoun, some solid pump plays there. And then my fade, Sungwoo Choi, 9,100, just too expensive for me. I'd rather play, honestly, Shevchenko by a mile. I'd rather play Brendan Allen. I'd even rather play Kopp and just a lot of other guys up there in that range. high 8K range as well. I mean, just Sung Woo Choi, he's not going to go for takedowns. He's not going to get control time. He's going to have to knock out Kulabao in the first round, and I don't think it's all that likely. Kulabao, very tough guy. I think this fight's even more competitive than line does indicate as well. So just another reason I don't want to play Sung Woo Choi here at 9,100. So pretty easy fade for me. But yeah, guys, that is about it. Really looking forward to this slate. I think it's a very fun slate. I think there's a lot of finishes. I think there's a lot of high scores, and I'm just hoping to it's a good week. It should be a good week. Leave a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. All the good stuff. Check me out on my live stream on the MMA Engine YouTube channel on Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Going live on Pub Sports Radio on Wednesday for the Draftkings show. And yeah, that should be about it. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, check out dfsbythenumbers.com. We'll talk to you guys very soon, and best of luck for UFC 275. See you guys.